What's good, YouTube? We're back today with another Market Watch, and the first thing I want to talk about is, a lot of you may or may not know, the Megatins aren't going to have as many of the cards as the first Megatin. If you have noticed the past few Megatins, a lot of cards get left out. So I want to talk about 3 cards that are higher priced from SHVI, the first set that's going to be in the Megatins. And Sage with the Eyes of Blue is still very, very high for what it is overall. We see it's at 28 to 29. With Kaiba on the cover of one of the tins, I would be very hard pressed to think that we won't see them in the Megatins. Now, this entire Market Watch for the most part is, if I had these cards, I would sell them, besides, I think, the very last card that I'm going to show, if I wasn't playing with them at the WCQ. Now, odd enough, it's actually lower on eBay by about $3. You don't tend to see this on older cards, such variants, but I think a lot of people are realizing Megatins are coming. This is where the slope's really going to start to come on speculation from the Megatins. It's hard to call what to keep and what to get rid of, but with Kaiba on the front of the tins, personally, I would be getting rid of mine, as well as Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon, which is holding an amazing price for not being in the meta much at all. We see it's actually 25 on eBay, so higher on eBay and lower on TCG. So it's nice to see them fighting back and forth on prices and who's higher and lower from the independent sellers. But I think I would be pretty confident that these cards that were missed from the Kaiba structure would be things they would want to put in the Megatins. I could be completely wrong. The next card I think will not appear in the Megatins due to its reprint in Battles of Legend, and that is Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which is still a pretty high price. I think it's going to be similar to Invoker as the chase card alongside Minerva. For Invoker was the chase card for Duelist Saga. I think Crystal Wing will be the chase card for Battles of Legend. I do not think that they would just put it as a reprint slot as well in the Megatins, knowing they took care of it there, but it could be relatively short printed, and they could say, people really wanted this card, that's why we put it in Battles of Legend, let's put it as a secret rare reprint as well in the Megatins. Personally, I think Battles of Legend will be its only reprint. I could be completely wrong on that as well. All this is speculation on the first 3 cards. It's lower on eBay overall at 32 versus the 36, so pretty big variance there as well. It's odd to see all the SHVI cards. It seems, you know, that there's just variations between TCG and eBay, but if you're not playing with these in the WCQ, I seriously doubt their price will recover back up from here. At best, it'll break even back to this point. It's going to keep dipping down and then go back up. Cosmic Cyclone from the Dark Illusion is down to $21. I think this is a very happy place. I forget what I showed it at last time, either 25 or 30. If you need it for the WCQ, it's going to be very good. It's highly likely to be in the Megatins. Again, any card that is from the 4 sets of SHVI, the Dark Illusions, and the other 2 sets that were printed between that are likely candidates for the Megatins. I just think Cosmic Cyclone is highly likely, and we have also seen it printed common in a structure deck in Japan now. I think that trend will continue, similar to MSTR. Different kinds of spell and trap destructions tend to end up in starter decks. I think we will eventually get this either in the 10 or the structure coming forward. So if you don't need it for the WCQ or your Nationals, I would be jumping ship on it. But I think it's a very, very, very good card. So if you are playing in the WCQ, you're probably playing this card. Pot of Desires is at $23.50. It just keeps going down. I think that's the correct call. It's an Ultra in both tins. It's hard to call if they'll put the secret in the tins, but they did with Pendulum Sorcerer, and I think it very well could end up in the tins as a secret rare, as they seem to have done with the past promos. It doesn't feel good to pull a promo of you know, like a secret as that was a promo, you're hunting down the other secrets typically, since you've already been guaranteed that card, but they tend to do that. So it'll continue to go down. Unlike Pendulum Sorcerer, it is a generic card, so I think it will hold some value, but not nearly this. I think it'll dip down to about 15 eventually as we get closer. This is a card, it's not going to face a reprint anytime soon. It's from Prio. It missed out on the original Megaton. Enter Blathnir is still around the $3 mark, around there. I would be getting rid of it still because we're headed towards Link format. It's $3. There's actually quite a few of them on eBay as well. I just see people already don't make it much. Usually you're going for True King of all Calamities, and I don't think that it is a very good pick to be summoning. You're already going to have trouble with rank 9s in Link format, so I just don't see it keeping its price. It went up originally because of dinosaurs. It's just kind of hung there. It's slowly starting to creep. If you have it, it's worth picking out a bulk, of course. It's an amazing pick out of bulk, but I would still just be trying to get rid of them probably at 250s. Just settle. If a local vendor is offering to, take it. Solemn Strike, 25s and 23s, rebounding back up a little. It was also announced in a structure deck in Japan. Warning ended up in our structures as well, I remember. And that was a pretty big shock for people. Like, oh my gosh, it actually made it. I think this will end up, after its super version, eventually being in some kind of structure down the line as well. The highest rarity being the ultimate rare, the secrets being the not as desirables. I would definitely get rid of the Megaton secrets now. I would get rid of these secrets now. It's fallen about to when it was initially announced in the Megatons, although it's creeping back up. That's pretty weird. I would still just... There's no way it's going to maintain price, and I'm sorry that I'm going slow here. I actually came down with something like the flu. I've thrown up like 5 times. It really sucks. And the only reason I'm going to have to scroll through the Oricas is to show how many different listings of Solemn Strike are total on eBay. Now, there's probably about 10, 15-ish that are Oricas, not even that many with the ENs, but we go down and we see it at 22 also. It's just a very high quantity of different Solemn Strikes. That's splitting up all 3 though, but it's just how many physical copies of this card are on the market. I think it'll continue to go down, and we see that it's a little bit lower again on eBay than TCG Player. It's so odd to me because the eBay players take the higher fees. And my final note is Quaking Mirror Force. This is just interesting that it's held its price to this point. It's been a solid 3 to 4. It makes me think that with future different Mirror Forces that come out, when structures are getting ripped open, people are only interested in, like with the dinosaur deck, they were mostly interested in this and were trading it early. It's just a note that I would be trading for other Mirror Forces when they come out, from the people that don't necessarily want them. I think Drowning is a candidate to come up soon, but I don't think it'll have the same command as Quaking, but I still think it'll be 2s. So trading for it should be fine when it hits markets eventually, if we get it. But we see it's $3.33 cheaper on eBay, just by, 40 cents. Like I said, they're 3 2-4s. Gladly sell them for 3 anytime. So thanks for watching. Give this a thumbs up if you enjoy Market Watch. What do you guys think is going to miss the Megatons? It's really hard to speculate. We have no idea what Konami's thinking there. Will Totally Awesome be in or out? I think the Blue Eye stuff has to be with Kaiba on the cover, so I would definitely... This is just so inflated for what it is. People really like the deck, they really like the cards. I think they'll maintain value at... they'll be chase cards, somewhat, from the 10s, but I still think I would be getting rid of these now. And Crystal Wing, like I said, I think it'll be in Battles of Legend. I don't know that they'll take the extra slot. Again, this has been Market Watch. Hope you all enjoyed. Sorry that I'm sick. Not as excitable as usual. I ended up missing St. Louis because of it, obviously. Billy told me he didn't want to go anyways. He was tired as heck from his regional. But we should be doing some other regionals soon here. And I'll see you all at the WCQ.